Hello, everyone, and welcome to this brief presentation about understanding the mind. So, this is a new presentation, so I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have in research about it, because the first step in understanding the mind is to realize that your thoughts are what determines your everyday experiences. Let me say that again. Your thoughts are what determines your everyday experiences. In fact, the Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And even so, it says, guard your heart above all things, for out of it determines your life. So, our thoughts are very important. And this is the basic premise of all spiritual texts and esoterical schools of thought. It is also reflected in many scientific spheres, such as quantum mechanics. So we're talking about something that's important on all aspects of life because it deals with our thinking. People have certain thought patterns that they've picked up from the water society, from their parents, from groups and organizations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They then project these thought patterns into their surroundings, and they then mistakenly believe that their own projections and interpretations are the truth. And now I think we all agree that we believe what we think we're thinking is true. But the fact of the matter is, oftentimes we discover, if we do a little deep search, that what we think is truth really was not truth at all. But the truth is, master your mind is different for everybody depending on their particular thoughts. This is why here is so much diversity in the world today. That's the reason why we have so many people doing so many different things today, because they believe in what they're doing is true. But the fact about it, I think we can look at a lot of people and we can say, I think they're deceived. And they may look at us and think, well, we're deceived. A core component of spiritual growth lies in removing all of the thought patterns that we have picked up when we were young. Now, there's the real crux of this lesson, is what did we pick up as young children that we believed what people said to us was absolutely the truth. And really, it wasn't the truth. These were just programmed into us. Let me say that again. These thoughts that we picked up, these beliefs, these things we acted on, really were just programmed into us. And then we learn to remove and reinstall different thoughts and beliefs. It's when we start to come into our own true autonomy as masters over our minds. And now let me say something about the mind. We have the mind of Christ. I got to say that again. We have, that's a past tense verb. So if you have something, that means you possess it. So we possess the mind of Christ, but what we have been deceived in understanding, what does that really mean? Now, this is a particularly why meditation is recommended across time and cultures. We're able to calmly observe our own thought patterns without reacting or involvement. Now, that's important. Without reacting or involvement, we can now, through meditation is a good methodology, that we can observe what are you really thinking. This is one of the only ways that we can see things objectively. Otherwise, we tend to identify with our gender, our political ideologies, nationalities, or class. So that's the reason why we have so many different belief systems today, is because of that one factor. And we naturally see this as correct due to our limited life experiences. People who do not understand the power of their own minds are largely lost, as they cannot, let me say it again, cannot identify as conscious creators of their own reality. I got to say that again. They are conscious creators of their own reality. We are co-creators with God himself. He has chosen to give us that ability as co-creators. And what people are creating as spirit beings, they do not like, but they blame it on somebody else, and even they blame it on God. And that's not the truth. The truth is we're creators, we're spirit beings, slow down to visibility, and therefore we create what we're creating. And oftentimes we say things that we don't like because we actually created it, but we blame it on somebody else. We blame it on society. We blame it on the government. We blame it on the health system, and so on and so on. They will constantly find fault with the world and ask, why is it so difficult to contend with? Understanding the power of thoughts is the first step of personal mastery. I got to say that again. Understanding one's thoughts, the power of thoughts, as we think that's what is. And what we see is what sometimes, in fact, for some people, oftentimes, is not what they like. But it is the first step to personal mastery. So this is just a very beginning. I'm going to do a lot more recordings and present these things about how we think, because as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Guard your heart above all things, for out of it flow all the issues of life. So when somebody calls me and say, Doc, I need to talk to you about an issue I have, first of all, I think about this. What are they thinking? It must be some stinking thinking. You've heard that terminology, I'm sure. But I just want to make a brief presentation and say, if you need a private Zoom evaluation of how you are thinking and what has caused you to maybe have some conflicts that you are not liking right now, you can email me at drcecil@teachtruth.net. teachtruth.net. I'll be happy to give you a free Zoom evaluation. Just you, just me, and that's it. Perhaps I can help you, give you a little help, hope, and healing. So I say, as I always close everything, be blessed today because you already are. Bye-bye now.